Hi, I'm Blake, and I'm going to explain to you how to use the AI CMS for immigration attorneys. CMS stands for Content Management System, and what this is a project management system for immigration attorneys. This is the home page, and we'll go to the profile. That's what you get when you first log in. And essentially, you get a project management system. Uh, I have here the current projects that I'm a member of. There's the site documentation down at the bottom. Go into that, and it explains, what is this system? How does it work? With these additional project memos of what is a memo? How does that work? Then over here on the left sidebar, you'll see there's the current project memos on the left sidebar. So here's another memo explaining about spreadsheets or the memo sheets, AI assisted spreadsheets. And so here's the overall project. This is the support, or this is the documentation project. If I go back into my profile, I can see the support project. Support project is really just questions and answers. If you need to ask me questions, not necessarily the website, but something about the website isn't working, you would create a memo inside the support project. And but here, let's talk about an actual project. Uh, Projects are a privacy wrapper around work that takes place. So let's just say I've got a new client interview that's going to take place, or have already started taking place with that, and I happen to know that this is a person who's a college student, and he's got a Korean girlfriend pregnant. He's from China and she's Korean. And so I've previously spoke to him, and now she's in the office to join the situation. So we're going to have a conversation with an AI attorney that is Kim Jun Ji, and she's a trained AI trained to believe that she's an English Korean immigration attorney who happens to be a second generation Korean American immigrant who grew up in Los Angeles. Okay, so the reason that these AIs have a somewhat elaborate backstory is because it generates an expertise within the training of the AI to pull in a context that includes a backstory. It's I don't need to go into any more detail in that, but basically these are uh, pretty deep level expert AIs. So when you're in a chat interface, you can use voice to text to create your side of the conversation. I can't do that at the moment because I'm using the microphone to make this video recording. But let's just put in here quickly some information. UCLA, and um, yeah, right, probably not. Okay, so he's from China, and his dad is their minister of the Communist Party. Um, my dad is Korea's. Um, Okay, so I'm a Korean exchange student here at UCLA. I'm pregnant with my boyfriend, and he's from China. My boyfriend's from China. And his dad is the minister of the Communist Party. My dad is Korea's director of defense. They both hate each other professionally and do not even know we know one another. What do we do? Okay, so fantastical situation. But let's see what the AI says about this. Okay, so looks like it recognizes the complexity of the situation and it's giving us an action plan. Okay, so very interesting. So in this action plan generated, it gives us a pretty good breakdown of viable steps. And then it continues asking some information about them personally and basically things to carry on, continue the conversation. And then let's say this is information we want to save. We'll just take this here. And when you select a section, it automatically creates a memo form or a memo creation form. So this is going to be our action plan. And we just generate a memo just directly from the conversation. And now we've got our action plan. And then here in this memo form, there's also another AI available that if you needed to have some sort of styling changes or something like that. Let's say that please include an introduction to this information and a closing. So now I'm asking the AI just to take this bullet list of information and bookend it with introduction and a closing. And AI will go ahead and make these changes to us, to the memo for us. If the memo were in conversational format, it could, be changed in format. So here the AI basically assume that, this is the action plan for the client. So it introduced, dear client, and then, so it basically converted it into almost like an action plan to give the client, which I think is kind of neat. Okay, so action plan for client. And now that could be, published, and I'll explain that in just a moment. And we update it, and now here's the new version of this memo. And now the fact that it's published, I have a different AI. Now, this other AI that is just generated now, it uses the content of this memo, the content of whatever's inside this document to generate an expert in that information. And then you can ask it questions directly. And then those questions go into the comments, or those answers to the questions go directly into comments. So that's why include comments in short-term memory. This is almost like having another chat interface, but it's more formalized. And likewise within our project, here we have two different memos now. We could also, and we have two different conversations. This is an earlier conversation that was held between the Chinese student, the boy, and that turned into this memo that is actually a summary of that conversation that occurred down there with a question that introduced the existence of the girlfriend being from Korea. And then here is our action plan for the woman from the student from Korea, along with her conversation here. And so you can see how this can very quickly get rather involved. But what's really interesting about the whole situation is as you sit there and work with this information, it's also creating these things that are called dictionaries. Now, this dictionary here, this is auto-generated from those memos and conversations. And it's this information, their name, address, reason for visit, past relevant situations, and so on. This information is collected automatically by the AI. And it is essentially, you can specify what this is. It's what information do you want the AI to be remembering across all of the interactions within the project. And then, of course, because you're the attorney operating everything in, operating this interface, you get your own access to pull these back in. And there's more to this, but essentially, this is a project management system that enables you deep AI integration at pretty much every level of the interface. So if you have questions, you can contact me and I'll explain deeper.